Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're tackling something that literally happens thousands of times a shift in hospitals and clinics, but it is absolutely crucial to get right: medical waste segregation. Look, we know how it is if you're a nurse or a doctor just coming off a totally chaotic 12-hour shift. Tossing a glove in the nearest bin is super tempting. But as you know, the stakes here are incredibly high. We're going to demystify the 2016 Biomedical Waste Management Rules and give you a structured, easy-to-remember masterclass on exactly what goes where. So let's dive right in. Real quick, here's our roadmap for today. We'll hit segregation at the source, then break down the yellow, red, white, and blue categories, and finish up with packaging and tracking. Okay, you might actually be surprised to learn this, but a massive 85% of all healthcare waste is just general waste. Paper, food containers, regular packaging. Only about 15% is actually highly infectious biomedical waste. But here's the catch, and the crucial takeaway for us. If we don't keep that 15% strictly quarantined, it cross-contaminates the other 85%. Suddenly, a perfectly manageable hazard turns into a massive, facility-wide crisis. Moving to Section 1, segregation at the source, which really is our golden rule. Think about the physical layout of your workspace for a second. In the middle of a high-stress, fast-paced environment, like an ER, where exactly must medical waste be segregated? What's the absolute most critical physical location in this entire chain? It's right at the point of generation. The responsibility doesn't lie with some magical waste processing facility down the line. It lies right in your hands, literally immediately after you finish treating a patient. Segregating right at the exact source is the only way we prevent these dangerous mix-ups from traveling all throughout the hospital corridors. All right, Section 2. Let's talk about the yellow category, our biological and infectious materials. So yellow, non-chlorinated plastic bags are your mandatory destination for highly infectious waste. Basically, whenever you are dealing with biological materials that carry a high risk of infection, you need to think yellow. But let's get specific. What exactly belongs in here? Think of the yellow bag as your primary biological hazard zone. Let's say you're cleaning up after stitching a severe wound. Well, anything deeply soiled during that procedure goes right in here. We're talking blood-soaked dressings, plaster casts, cotton swabs. It's also the spot for human and animal anatomical waste, like tissues. And you're also going to toss expired medicines, discarded linens, and microbiology lab waste in this stream. Bottom line, if it carries a biological infectious risk, it is yellow. But wait, the yellow category isn't just about those flexible plastic bags. While your soil dressings definitely go into a bag, liquid chemical waste is a totally different story. Things like expired liquid chemicals, spent X-ray fluids, or discarded disinfectants, they require rigid yellow containers. Obviously, we don't want toxic liquids leaking out onto the floor. Let's move on to Section 3, the red category, which is all about contaminated recyclables. Now, for the red category, the golden rule is, again, non-chlorinated bags. And you might be wondering, why the obsession with chlorine? Well, because the contaminated plastics inside these red bags are destined for sterilization, usually zapped in an autoclave or a microwave, before they get shredded and recycled. If these bags contained chlorine, hitting them with that extreme high heat would release some incredibly toxic gases. No one wants that. So what exactly goes into the red bag? Just think of all the everyday disposable plastics and rubber you're using on the ward. You just finished setting up an IV or inserting a catheter? Those IV tubes, the urine bags, the disposable tubing, and yep, the very gloves you're wearing to do the procedure, they all go in here. If it's a contaminated plastic or rubber item and it doesn't have a sharp edge, it goes red. Okay, pause for a second, because here is a crucial distinction that trips a lot of people up. Syringes. A syringe without a needle, or, one where the needle has been safely removed, goes straight into the red category. But a syringe with a fixed needle? No way. That is a severe puncture risk and must go into the white category. Honestly, just grasping this one specific difference prevents so many dangerous needle stick injuries. Which brings us perfectly to Section 4, the white and blue categories which handle our waste sharps and glassware. For the white category, we abandon flexible bags entirely. You just can't use them. Here, you absolutely must use translucent, puncture-proof, leak-proof, and tamper-proof containers. This is the one and only place for waste sharps. We're talking needles, those fixed needle syringes we just mentioned, scalpels, and blades. Think about it. These items will effortlessly slice right through a standard plastic bag and injure a sanitation worker. They have to be sealed in these tough containers. And then we have the blue category. This stream uses puncture-proof boxes with blue markings or specific blue bins. This is your designated drop zone for broken, discarded, or contaminated glassware, like medicine vials and ampules. Oh, and it's also where you dispose of metallic body implants. Just like the white category, blue ensures that rigid, sharp objects are fully contained so they don't shatter or poke through during transport.
All right, last section, packaging and tracking. Let's talk about these safe transport rules.
Okay, so you've sorted the waste perfectly at your station, which is great, but the job isn't quite done until it's properly packaged. There are 3 absolute rules before that waste leaves your hands. First, never, ever fill a bag more than 3/4 full. It needs breathing room. Second, seal it tightly with a plastic tag or tie. And third, actually, scratch that, this is the most important one, never staple a biohazard bag. Seriously, a staple instantly compromises the bag's integrity and creates an immediate leak risk. Once you've got it sealed securely, the tracking kicks in. Every single sealed bag or container must have a barcode or QR code pasted right on it before it ever leaves your facility. It's brilliant, really. This ensures that every single ounce of hazardous material is tracked from the exact point of generation on your ward, all the way to its final destruction facility. It's all about total accountability. And that brings us to the end of our explainer today. But I want to leave you with this one thought. We started by noting that only 15% of hospital waste is highly infectious. So, if segregation fails at your station, say a bloody needle accidentally punctures a regular trash bag, what happens to the other 85% of general waste down the line? Right. It all becomes dangerously contaminated. Your split-second decisions at the bin dictate the safety of the entire hospital ecosystem. Definitely think about that chain reaction the next time you toss something away. Thanks for learning with us today. Keep this color system in mind and stay safe out there.